Today's game on WBCB is being brought to you by Kalinowski Performance Academy, the N Club, the St. Mary Medical Center, Jennifer Shorn for DA, the Revere Restaurant, Team Toyota, Kent's Tree Service, Peruzzi Automotive Group, the Irish Rover Station House, Haldeman Ford, and the Trentonian. Coin toss happening right now at midfield, and Nick, I'll let you continue your breakdown from before we were interrupted by the national anthem.
Well, thank you, partner. Just for Neshaminy tonight, offensively coming in for them. I've said Carter Klee a couple times this year through the running game. We're going to change it up tonight. Carter Klee through the passing game is going to be Klee for Neshaminy. Eckert gets pressured in his face from the Bucks. Carter Klee usually there around to dump it off a nice safety blanket for quarterback Michael Eckert. On the other hand, for the Bucks tonight defensively, you got to make Michael Eckert uncomfortable all night long. That is going to be the key, because when Eckert's passer rating is over 100, Neshaminy's undefeated, and when it's not over 100, he is 0-3 are the Skins. For the Bucks offensively tonight, the key to them is attack Neshaminy's secondary. It's a fairly good secondary. It's a veteran secondary, but attack them. This secondary has shown weak spots all season long consistently, especially in their 3 losses. So they are prone to a big pass and big play all night. That's going to be key for the Bucks if they want to come out victorious here on War Memorial Field.
Well, to all of you getting ready for this game at home, how about you just leave the candy in a bowl on the front porch, lock the door, and shut off the lights, because kickoff between Neshaminy and Central Bucks West in the District 1 6A first round is getting set to get underway here from War Memorial Field. Central Bucks West, they won the opening coin toss. They elected to defer, and it will be Michael Eckert and this high-scoring Neshaminy offense due up first. Neshaminy finished the regular season as the #1 scoring offense in the Suburban 1 League National Division, averaged just under 30 points per game, also finished with the 3rd-ranked scoring defense.
Ladies and gentlemen, kicking for the Bucks.
The Central Bucks West squad, if you'll remember back from September 26th, they're a little new look this time around. They had Louis Sapolo as their quarterback the last time these two teams met. Sapolo is now a running back wide receiver. Josh George, who began the year as the backup QB, has been inserted into the starting lineup. Head coach Rob Rowan made that change the week after their loss against Neshaminy. 14 game, which is Owen J. Roberts against Downingtown West. 48 minutes to decide who moves on or who goes home here on Halloween night. And off we go from Doylestown. It's a good kick from Darrows, and Brock Williams is just going to watch it fly into the end zone and roll out of bounds for a touchback. Neshaminy's first drive will begin from their own 20.
Well, some interesting stats coming into tonight's game for quarterback Michael Eckert. He is number 18 in passing yards in the entire state of Pennsylvania, number 1 in passing yards in PIAA District 1, and number 4 in passing yards in Division 6A, number 1, though, in total yards. So a very efficient quarterback, 29 points per game, and this Neshaminy offense leads for the first time tonight.
Eckert, 143 of 200 this year for 2,030 yards. 26 touchdowns through the air, 3 interceptions. Also a threat with his legs, averages 5.5 yards per carry, 586 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns rushing this year. And before we can get our first play from scrimmage, we've got some confusion, and I think Central Bucks West maybe had to make a swap across the field, as Louis Sapolo has to come out for this play, it appears. They've been tricked on the first play here on Halloween. And yes, we will be seeing how many Halloween references myself and Nick Gallagher can make on this broadcast.
Well, I'm going to say, Jordan, we're going to have a couple trick or treats tonight from both offenses on Halloween. Why not break out some trick plays in a big first-round playoff matchup?
Eckert all by himself. He's going to run it himself, and that does not work. Jumping on top of him was Gavin Todd.
Number 7, Zach Zabo.
Eckert was able to get back to the line of scrimmage that time, and it sets up 2nd down and 10, and a nice start for the CB West defense. Skins have gone into the hurry up a lot more during the second half of the season. You see it right here. On 2nd and 10, quick throw near side, complete. There's Brock Williams getting his first catch and moving forward to the 26. Check that, make that Bobby Lagler, my mistake. So Lagler gets involved early, sets up 3rd and 4. So used to calling Brock Williams' name over these last 3 weeks the way they've been using him.
Well, look out for Bobby Lagler tonight. Had a big 83-yard reception in the win against Central Bucks earlier in September. He's a threat to stretch the field tonight.
He's in single coverage at the bottom of your screen. On 3rd and 4, Eckert going deep in the direction of Lagler. He brings it in, but he was out of bounds. Louis Sapolo was the one in coverage, and he did a nice job using the sideline as a secondary defender, and the Bucks have forced a 3-and-out to open the night.
A big defensive play there for the Bucks to get their defense off the field quickly. Neshaminy, a team that doesn't punt too often this year.
So this Neshaminy offense that really did whatever they wanted last week against a vaunted Pennsbury defense. Eckert went 19 of 24 for 234 yards and 3 touchdowns in that game. Added another 97 yards on the ground. They're forced to punt after their opening series on a drive that takes just 35 seconds. Tristan Rivera, this one won't count. We've got pre-snap whistles.
Flag on the field.
We've got a penalty. And it goes against Neshaminy. It's been the one bugaboo for the Skins this season, Nick, is the penalties, especially these last few weeks, and perhaps none worse than the last time these two teams met. Neshaminy committed 10 penalties in that win. They were able to get away with it because Central Bucks West committed 9.
You can't do that tonight. In a playoff game, you've got to limit your penalties tonight, and that's going to be crucial in the field position battle. Back and forth we go.
Rivera sends a line drive kick that checks up inside the 50 and takes a Neshaminy roll out of bounds as Nick Mileto watches it go over into his sideline. And good starting field position now for Central Bucks West, led by their junior quarterback, Josh George, who, like I mentioned before, began the season as the backup quarterback. Luis Sapolo was in there as the starter. He has since moved to become a running back and wide receiver in this relatively run-heavy CB West offense. And Sapolo is lined up to the left of George. They'll begin this drive from their own 43.
Josh George behind center for the Bucks, number 12.
They'll begin this drive after some whistles and after some more confusion as well. It's only week 11.
Sapolo, the game-winning touchdown run last week against CB East with 4 minutes to go, as the Bucks were able to beat their rivals in the final game of the regular season.
First play from scrimmage for the Bucks. George rolls across his body throw, complete to Mason Darrows. And on 1st and 10, they pick up 10. Nick Sassano there to ride him out of bounds. And Darrows is the first target that George hooks up with here tonight.
Number 11, Nick Sassano.
Neshaminy did a relatively nice job on defense, keeping this high-powered Central Bucks West offense quiet, especially in the run game back in week 6. They say Darrows only got 9 that time. It brings up 2nd and 1. And on 2nd and 1, it's an outside give to Louis Sapolo. Tries to turn the corner. He's going to have enough for the first down, but Nick Sassano and Carson Schneider combined to bring him down after a short gain. Louis Sapolo in that 28-18 loss at Heartbreak Ridge. 13 carries, 102 yards, had a 48-yard touchdown in that one. That was the last time either of those two teams scored. It answered a 72-yard burst by Michael Eckert, who had himself a game on the ground back at the end of September. Here's a swing play, and it's dropped out of the reach that time of Jack Wilson.
Josh George pass, ball incomplete, intended.
Wilson had a pretty impressive catch in that game back in week 6. Had a 50-50 ball going up against Mike Sassano. Very tough to rip the ball away from Sassano, and he was able to do so early in that first half.
Neshaminy defense has been stifled all season, only allowing 16 points per game. As Corey Kenoy Webb, their leading sack getter, 10 sacks on the year for Kenoy Webb.
Second and 10, George straight ahead on a quarterback designed run with space. A good job by Dan McGarity to trip him up just enough. That'll be a gain of 7 for George. Not as mobile a quarterback as Sapolo, but you see right there, he's able to stretch the field vertically with his legs, and now sets up 3rd and 3. Central Bucks West very used to being in this position. They're 5-0 in first-round playoff games. You have to go back to 2017 for their last first-round loss. They were the 3 seed last year, beat number 14 Pennsbury 17-0, dominated that game on defense. 3rd and 3, it's a give to Nick Mileto, who's got his first carry, and Mileto needed 3, and that's what he got. And he keeps the chains moving for Central Bucks West on this opening drive. Another guy, Neshaminy, did a nice job containing in week 6 was Nick Mileto, one of the more physical runners in the Suburban 1 League National Division. It's going to be physical out there all night long. David Liberty, he was on our coaches roundtable with Chris Irmer on Wednesday, said the winner of this game is going to be whoever is the most physical team out there. 1st and 10. George rolls, fires, pass complete. That's Liam Laffin, the tight end, down close to the 25. They say that's where he extended it to. That's a pickup of 8 on 1st down for Laffin.
Very balanced offensive attack from the Bucks to start this game, keeping the chains moving and keeping Neshaminy guessing.
Bucks with a 2nd and 2.
Central Bucks West, they've won 22 of their last 25 National Division games, including the playoffs. It was at 19 of their last 20 when these two teams met in week 6. Neshaminy put an end to that. 2nd and a short 2, Wildcat quarterback Louis Sapolo has the 1st down. And a flag comes in at the end of that play. Nick, that's what Neshaminy really has to watch out for on defense. That is how Sapolo ran in the game-winning touchdown last week. Out of that Wildcat formation, took it 44 yards to the house.
And Neshaminy has always struggled with those kind of quarterbacks, that unpredictability, the Wildcat formations, RPO runs. That's something Neshaminy has struggled with all season. As good as their defense has been, a big penalty against them here. Give the Bucks some extra yards.
It's going to set Central Bucks West up in a goal-to-go scenario. Be 1st and goal from the 9. And so penalties, which were a major factor at the end of September, Neshaminy's committed 2 already. Central Bucks West has yet to commit 1. 1st and goal. Sapolo, Wildcat once again, uses the right side and doesn't have much. Dan McGarity, Mark Ilkovic, they were both in there on that tackle.
Dan McGarity.
Dan McGarity, 2nd on the team in tackles, entering this game at 73. They moved him into the box about midway through this season, and since then you've seen those tackle numbers really increase for McGarity. Second and goal from the 6 for Central Bucks West, looking to strike first on their opening drive. Sapolo, the quarterback again, he takes off, he turns the corner, he gets hit hard right at the goal line, and Mike Sassano just saved a touchdown, but it's a 5-yard carry for Sapolo, and now 3rd and goal from the 1.
3rd down from the 1-yard line.
This is what Central Bucks West will do, not necessarily a team known for being a big play threat. They'll try to methodically march it down the field. They'll hit you over the top if you let them. But so far, this is classic Central Bucks West offense on their opening drive. It'll be a direct snap to Nick Mileto, and he's going to walk in. Bucks strike first. It's 6-0 CB West. They do it almost all on the ground, and Nick Mileto, he's a real physical back. Didn't have to be physical at all right there. Nobody in his zip code as he waltzes into the end zone.
A great, impressive drive for the Bucks to start things off, and they just kind of took advantage of Neshaminy, got everything they wanted offensively, and like you said, Jordan, just moved it methodically. The Bucks are just a very comfortable team at home, as you mentioned in the open, 5-0 this year at home, averaging 27 points per game here at War Memorial Field.
Mason Darrows is an excellent kicker, and he drills that one to put CB West on top 7-zip at the 6:47 mark of this first quarter. You mentioned just how good Central Bucks West has been here at home. 5-0 this year, 10 consecutive home wins. Their last loss came against Souderton back on September 6th of 2024. The last time they lost to a national division opponent here at home was in the District 1 6A semifinals in 2023, falling to eventual champion Central Bucks South. They've won 18 of their last 19 home games since the start of the 2023 season. That is dominance, and that is protecting your home turf.
Number 4, Brock Williams. Kicking for the Bucks, number 4,
Brock Williams back deep to
Darrows.
receive. We'll see if he even gets an opportunity, as Darrows sent it about 6 yards deep into the end zone to open the night. Both of these two teams with identical 7-3 records, identical in divisional play at 5-2. A little later on, we'll get to just why Central Bucks West has the 6th seed and why Neshaminy is the 11th. Of course, it all has to do with those power points. And with a 7-0 lead, Darrows sends it away, end over end. And again, Williams will watch it fall in the end zone, and Neshaminy will begin from their own 20. Certainly is a weapon, Nick, to have a guy like Mason Darrows handling your kickoffs. A guy with such a big leg, you don't really have to worry about special teams all too much if he's just forcing touchbacks.
Yeah, especially for any team that Central Bucks West plays. I mean, when you have a dangerous kick returner like Brock Williams and Neshaminy, and whoever is in the SOL as kick returners, you have a lot of great special teams around the SOL. It's just great to just boot it and make the team start from the 20, not give them any chance to bring the ball out.
So Neshaminy looking for their first down of this game, trailing 7-0. They led the whole way through against CB West last time, and here's Carter Klee with a first down and a whole lot more. Klee down the sideline into Bucks territory. And the first touch for Carter Klee goes for a big gain, 30-plus yards.
The stop for number 28, Ben Riley.
Going to mark him all the way down to the 40-yard line. And that's a 40-yard gain for Klee, who had just 65 rushing yards back at the end of September.
Well, Klee climbing near 1,000 rushing yards, came into tonight with 950 yards on the ground, as he might eclipse that at some point tonight.
10 away, we'll keep an eye on that. Here's a quick throw to Carter Klee in the passing game. Why not feed him the rock? He's out near the 30. And they're going to give him 9.5, it appears. Oh, nope, the far side official saying move the chains. So there's 10 receiving yards for Klee. That's what you talked about in the open, right, Nick?
Yeah, passing game for Klee is going to be crucial.
They give it to Mike Sassano on a jet sweep. He tries to turn upfield, and he's met by a wall of black.
Number 15, Mike Sassano with the run.
And Mike Sassano on his first carry of the day picks up 3 yards down to the CB West 27. Sassano only had 2 rushing yards all season coming into this game on 1 carry, so he goes to over double that mark. And here's 2nd and 7. Klee into the backfield. Eckert keeps the football. He trips. And as a result, has just a 1-yard gain. Looked like he might have fell over one of his offensive linemen. John Marion was in the area. And they might have got their feet tangled up. Eckert had 97 yards on the ground last week, his biggest rushing total of October. Eckert he fakes the run, throws, and it's incomplete. Oh, the trick play nearly worked to perfection. Lucas Stewart was all alone, and he would have had a walk-in touchdown. Can't fault the play call that time. Eckert, just a little too much mustard on that. And now 4th down, kind of in no man's land. Neshaminy will go for it, but a major missed opportunity And Nick, when you're trying to win a postseason game on the road, those are the ones you feel like you gotta have.
Yeah, especially when you allow the home team to score first and have a lot offensively go right down the field. Neshamany's got to get a first down. They want to match the Bucks.
A little confusion among the receivers for 4th and 6, and as a result, Nick Felix is going to have to burn his first time out. And I'll let you know that celebrating 50 years of business, supporting your community is Haldeman Ford, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. Neighbors helping neighbors is what Haldeman Ford does and will continue to do. Haldeman Ford has it all. New and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, plus work-ready trucks. Haldeman Ford has a great variety of EV vehicles. Haldeman Ford services all makes and models and is known for their fleet service and state-of-the-art collision center. Coming soon, the area's largest new commercial vehicle center. Haldeman Ford here yesterday, here today, here tomorrow, celebrating their 50th year in business. Don't forget, if you miss any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian, or online at Trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian. Back to action, 4th and 6. Neshaminy trailing by 7, a little past the midway point of quarter number 1 here in the PIAA District 1 6A first round. Neshaminy looking for their first postseason win in 8 years. Feel like this could be a big play early in this one. Eckert, quick throw. It's tipped around and incomplete.
Michael Eckert's pass is tipped.
Man, through the hands of, I believe, Mason Darrows, and then through the hands of Bobby Lagler. And the Bucks will take over with this 7-0 lead. Eckert maybe a little too quick on that trigger right there, Nick.
Yeah, it looks like, I think Brock Williams also was a nearby receiver, went through his hands as well as off Flagler. So Neshaminy had 2 chances to complete that 4th down, unable to come up with it. I mean, the bright side, Jordan, is you pin Central Bucks back a little bit, down about the 25-yard line or so. But you're unable to come up on your first 2 drive with no points.
Their opening drive went 57 yards. And here's a handoff to Sapolo. Big hole. Louis Sapolo first down into the Neshaminy secondary. Finally wrestled down by Nick Sassano. There's a reason they moved him to running back past the midway point of this season. He's electric. And Louis Sapolo showing off the speed. He's no longer the quarterback, but he's still the focal point of this CB West offense. And now 1st and 10 from the 41 after a 34-yard carry. George looking long, taking a shot from Mileto, and it's over everybody's head.
Josh George.
Like a bad joke, that one sailed over everyone's head and out of bounds. And it sets up 2nd and 10.
If you're a Central Bucks West fan, you lose Ryan Clemens last year to graduation, a 10-3 Central Bucks team, an incredible ride they took you on. And you're wondering how you're going to replace his production, the Swiss Army knife, Ryan Clemens. And the Central Bucks has had a lot of guys step up this year in that role and do a lot of things, from Mileto to George, and it's created a lot of flexibility for their offense.
2nd and 10, it's Sapolo, and not much doing that time. Wrestled down around the 39-yard line.
As well as number 8.
Dan McGarity and Mark Ilkovic, they combine on that tackle. You mentioned Ryan Clemens, very talented running back on the CB West squad last season. Him and Vance Morelli, they both found the end zone in their first-round win against Pennsbury last year. Central Bucks West looking to make it 6 consecutive wins here in the District 1 Class 6A first round.
3rd down for the Bucks.
3rd and 8. Play action. George with pressure. Lets it fly. And it's incomplete.
Pass intended for Liam Laffin.
Liam Laffin was the intended target. Almost brought it in with one hand.
Number 15, Mike Sassano.
Good coverage by Mike Sassano.
4th down for the Bucks.
And we've got a flag. And it's going to go for roughing the passer against Neshaminy.
Flag on the field. Apparently roughing the passer on Neshaminy.
We've talked about at points this season, Nick, that when the Skins are going good, sometimes it feels like the only team that can beat them is themselves. That's one of the penalties that shows why we talk about that right there.
Yeah, and that's a critical penalty early in this first quarter on a drive you were almost going to get out of and force a Central Bucks punt. Instead, you gift them 15 free yards now, and they're closer, just about in the red zone territory now. Thought you were going to get off the field rather quickly. It's just the discipline this late in the season.
They'll be on the 24. It's a 15-yard penalty. They originally had it spotted on the 21, but the last play came from the 39. First and 10, Central Bucks West. Looking to make it 2 for 2 on their drives. Zapolo takes it around the edge and gets ridden to the ground after a gain of 3. Maybe just 2 on that one. No, they'll give him 3 to the 21. It is pretty impressive to see Luis Zapolo, who's not, again, typically the quarterback. He's been lined up under center more than Josh George has been in this one. But pretty impressive to see an offense that's, you know, in 2025 not running through your quarterback.
Just the interchangeable of your skill position players. That's true talent there. As we see George line up now on the receiver.
Zapolo, he takes off once again and gets chopped down around the 20. It was a good tackle by Mike Sassano that time. And I guess Rob Rowan's figuring, hey, we're just going to keep going back to the well until you prove you can stop it. No need to use Josh George right now. They give him 3 more yards on that. To the 18, it's 3rd and 4 as CB West has re-entered the red zone. These are the plays Neshaminy's defense has to have. On 3rd and 4, it's another handoff. It's Nick Mileto. It's a first down. Stays on his feet and scores. Nick Mileto with a pair of first quarter touchdowns. And Central Bucks West goes up 13-zip.
Central Bucks is having their way on the ground through this first quarter. Mileto right through Neshamany's D-line. I mentioned that was really the strength of them this season. The Bucks are attacking the strength of Neshaminy, and it's worked and paid off. 2 touchdowns for them, right down the gut.
That's where you see Nick Mileto using the physicality. Nobody touched him on the first touchdown run, and he had to break about 2 or 3 tackles to find pay dirt that time. Darrow's about as automatic as it comes. Bangs it through. And so with 2:50 to go in the opening quarter, Neshaminy now really back on their heels. They trail this one 14-0. I'd alluded to it a little bit earlier, both of these teams having identical regular season records, identical records inside the division. The reason Central Bucks West is hosting this game and playing as the number 6 seed, and why Neshaminy has to travel now for the 4th consecutive week as the 11 seed, Central Bucks West with a little bit of a tougher strength of schedule. They played 6 teams that qualified for postseason action, went 3-3 against them. Neshaminy played only 4, went 3-1 in those games. Central Bucks West has wins over Upper Dublin. They're the 16 seed in the District 1 5A playoffs. A win over Souderton, who's the 7th seed in this bracket, and a big win, the only loss for Penridge this year, the top seed in this bracket, came against Central Bucks West. That happened just a couple of weeks after CB West and Neshaminy met.
Shows how much both these teams have evolved since that early or late September matchup from Heartbreak Ridge.
Darrow sends it away, and Williams just watches it fly. And again, Neshaminy will begin from the 20.
Neshaminy will take over the 20-yard line.
So now where does Neshaminy go from here? They're trailing 14-0, of course, loads of time. But this is a team that you know is feeling good coming into this game. A big win over their arch rival last week. They have the confidence and know that they can beat this Bucks team. Now they trail 14-0. You come out and get punched right in the mouth. Neshaminy's going to have to show some resilience, and they're going to need it soon because CB West's offense is looking like a machine through the first quarter. Eckert will keep this time and gets wrestled down after a short gain.
Eckert with the carry.
Nick Mileto there to ride him to the turf. And of course, Mileto's physicality, it doesn't just show off in the run game. One of the leading tacklers on this Bucs squad. And one of the better linebackers in the National Division.
Listen, the Neshaminy offense has that quick play ability. They have the skill position players that do it. Whether it's Eckert, Klee, Lagler, or the Sano brothers, they can strike at any moment.
Here's a quick throw. It's Brock Williams on that swing route. And that's the play we've been used to seeing Neshaminy use to open drives. Haven't done so yet. They use it on second down right there, and it goes for a first down gain. Nice job by Williams to find the sticks out to the 30. Brock Williams, in the last 3 games of the regular season, played very well for Neshaminy. 22 receptions over the final 3 games. He had just 27 receptions in the first 7. On 1st and 10, play action. Quick throw. There's Williams once again. Down to the 36, and a good-looking slant route. Shane McGuire brings him down. That'll set up second down and 4. But Brock Williams, in the final 3 games of the regular season, the numbers just really pan out how much he's been used. 281 yards through the air and 284 yards in those first 7 games. They're getting him the ball early and often in this one. 2nd and 4. Eckert had his first read taken away, now takes off. Eckert gets a positive gain and turns nothing into something. Liam Laffin very frustrated with himself that he couldn't drop Eckert for a sack.
Mason Darrows with the pressure.
Fans are riled up for the first round. I mean, hey, why not, right? Beautiful October night for football, temperatures in the upper 40s. That's postseason weather around here.
Halloween night, nonetheless. Feels beautiful out.
Third and a yard. Eckert will run. He's got a first and more. Eckert putting the moves on. Taking off. Out to the 25. Skirt, skirt, Michael Eckert. What a run. Put his foot in the ground. And breaking ankles on a big-time 3rd down run. There is a flag back at the line of scrimmage, so hold everything, though.
Official signaling for everybody to come back. Neshaminy's offensive line right there as they greet the official. Once again, Jordan, it looks like it's going to be another self-inflicting wound for Neshaminy after a huge positive play from their quarterback for a huge gain. They've done it to themselves here early in this first quarter with the penalties.
That wipes away a 36-yard run and sets Neshaminy back up their own 32. It'll be 3rd down and 8. 4th Neshaminy penalty of this quarter. 2nd time it's been on a 3rd down. So now 3rd and 8. Eckert, they reverse the screen back to Lucas Stewart, who's got blockers. Stewart stiff arms a man, and he's got enough for the first.
Number 88, Lucas Stewart.
And one of the big-time tight ends for this Neshaminy squad just bailed him out.
That play results in Neshaminy first
Lucas
down.
Stewart, he was part of the Neshaminy team last season that qualified for the playoffs for the first time since 2018. Fell in the first round to Owen J. Roberts, but Stewart had a catch in that game. This could be the final play of an opening quarter that's been dominated by the Bucs, and it's an Eckert keep across the 45, near the 46, and a decent 4-yard pickup on first down for Eckert. And now if Neshaminy wants, they can let the clock run all the way down. And everybody kind of just standing around. That's what it looks like they're going to do. Nick Felis is about 20% of the way onto the field. And the first 12 minutes are now in the books. Central Bucks West holding a 14-0 lead, 12 down, 36 to go here in the District 1 6A first round. Second quarter action right after this on WBCB.
Bucks County, this is home. It's where I was raised, where I learned right from wrong, where I'm raising my family, and where I've spent my life fighting for justice. I've taken on the toughest fights against murderers, traffickers, and child predators who believed they could prey upon the innocent and walk free. I've proven them wrong. I have stood toe-to-toe with the worst among us, delivered justice, and made our communities safer. Because in Bucks County, law and order are not up for debate. And as your district attorney, I will never stop fighting to protect our families and uphold justice. Justice isn't just my job, it's a solemn promise. A promise that every family can sleep safely at night, that no victim will ever be forgotten, and that in Bucks County, crime has consequences. Under my watch, the law is not a suggestion, it's an unbreakable pact. Justice will be.
Back to action here from War Memorial Field as Eckert hooks up with Mike Sassano for a first down on 2nd and 6. We begin the second quarter here in the District 1 6A first round. Glad you could join us on WBCB. Alongside Nick Gallagher, I'm Jordan Hirsch. Neshaminy trailing 14-0. The Bucks have scored on both of their opening 2 drives. Nick Mileto with a pair of touchdown runs. Here's a handoff to Carter Klee with a lot of space, and Carter Klee keeps the legs moving and goes over 1,000 rushing yards for the season. More importantly to him and to his team, he picks up the first down. And this is the first time we've seen this Neshaminy offense looking like they found a rhythm.
Carter Klee having himself a season, number 6 in rushing yards in PIAA District 1.
On 1st and 10, quick throw, pass complete inside the 30. There's Mike Sassano, his second catch of the drive.
And on the stop, number 31, Shane McGuire.
Sassano came into this game with 309 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns, and of course had the explosive third quarter last week. 2 touchdown catches and a pick 6, also another interception, all of that in the third quarter alone, as Neshaminy blew it open against Pennsbury. Second and 6, empty set. We've seen that a lot tonight. It's a screen play to Bobby Lagler this time. And he gets about half of what he needed to the 25-yard line. Sets up 3rd and 3. And now we're seeing Neshaminy. They're still using these swing plays, these wide receiver screens, but they're starting to use them in the middle of drives instead of as drive starters, like we've been so used to watching Neshaminy do all year.
I think they're really trying to open up the offense and just give the Bucks different looks from a defensive standpoint.
Crowd making some noise for 3rd and 3. Again, Eckert with a designed run has the first. Seems like the game plan on 3rd and short is let Eckert keep the rock, and so far Central Bucks West has not been able to stop it, as Eckert continues to grow with this momentum on the ground that he started with last week. Neshaminy inside the red zone for the first time, going quickly with Carter Klee around the edge.
Carter Klee with the carry.
And he gets jumped on top of around the 15. Mason Darrows was in there, so was Nick Mileto.
Nick Mileto, Mason Darrow, Shane McGuire, all in on that stop.
Michael Eckert, he's been balling in his last 3 games, 54 of 73, 720 yards, 8 touchdowns, just 1 interception, a QB rating of 131.4. He's been doing it mainly on the ground and in these quick passing plays to begin the night. Here's a handoff to Klee, and he's going nowhere. Carter Klee wrapped up at the line of scrimmage.
Number 42, Nick
Mileto with another tackle, and he's starting to rack those up. And before this 3rd down play, we've got a whistle. We've got an injured skin.
I believe it's Carter Klee is down. Moving his legs, so that's a good sign, but he is slow to get up.
While they tend to him, we'll step aside. 9:07 to play till halftime. Neshaminy driving, trailing by 14.
Carter Klee.
Swift, it'll be certain, and it'll be served. I'm Jennifer Shorn, and I will never stop fighting for Bucks County. Our families, our safety, our home.
Carter Klee was the one who was down, but he got up and jogged off under his own power. Now down on his knees being tended to on the Neshaminy sideline. Now he's back to his feet, which is good to see. He will have to miss this third down play. 3rd and 7 from the 15. Neshaminy looking for a response here early in the second quarter, trailing by 14. Eckert to the air, going to the end zone. It is incomplete. He led Mike Sassano a little too far that time, and he could not come down with what would have been a fantastic diving catch. And now decision time for Nick Felis. Steven Busick doesn't have a huge leg, and so it looks like they're going to leave the offense out there as Carter Klee does re-enter for this 4th down play.
That's good to see. And the Bucks brought the house on that 3rd down play. As the pressure was felt in Eckert's face, he just tried to get rid of that instead of taking a sack there. Thus the incompletion to Sassano.
4th and 7. Eckert steps up. He's going to run. He's got space. He's got the end zone and a touchdown. On 4th down, Michael Eckert, 15 yards to the house. And Neshaminy right back in this ball game. It's 14-6.
That's exactly what the doctor ordered for this Neshaminy offense. They had a great drive, got back in rhythm, and that was crucial compared to their first 2 drives. It's Eckert's 8th rushing touchdown of the season, and it comes at a time where Neshaminy needed to get some points here on this 3rd drive of theirs.
Steven Busick out to add the extra point. Tell you what, the middle of the field was just wide open. It's a high snap and a good kick. Mike Sassano with a good job handling that snap. And so the deficit has been sliced in half. It's now 14-7. And a good job by Eckert, too, with the pocket collapsing. That's where the experience comes into play right there, Nick, because a lot of times inexperienced quarterbacks, they look to escape right and left. Eckert, of course, very confident as a dual threat guy. You saw him climb the pocket that time, and as a result, was able to find open space and find the end zone.
Yeah, that's a tough play, but Eckert made a good judgment, saw the pay dirt in front of him, and just took it himself and found the end zone on a really crucial 4th down play. As he gets Neshaminy right back in this game, he got almost a new game here. But a big defensive stand for Neshaminy coming up. Bucks looking to add to their lead, which their offense has gone 2 for 2 on scoring drives here in the early stage of this first half.
Back deep for the Bucks.
So 8:35 to play second quarter, and now Neshaminy is going to be looking to combine that touchdown with a stop. Saw a lot of short kicks from Busick last week. Of course, it was very cold at Pennsbury just 7 days ago, and we thought that might have been playing a role in some of the distances on these kickoffs. With the wind whipping here in Doylestown, Busick sends a line drive that's caught by one of the upmen, Jack Wilson, and then he gets hammered at the 35. It's impressive by Wilson just to make that catch. That ball was flying towards him at a high speed.
Yeah, a gutsy call by special teams for Neshaminy just to see. You never know. Bounces happen, Jordan, so weirdly anymore. Especially in a game you're just not expecting it. And yes, even though you're giving the Bucks pretty good field position to start here their drive, it's worth the risk early on. See if your defense for Neshaminy can take a stand here. They've had no answer for Central Bucks running game so far in this first half.
So 1st and 10, this drive begins for Central Bucks West from their own 35. Heavy set, and it's a handoff. There's Louis Sapolo. You just see him get those legs moving. And a nice tackle by Dan McGarity. Sapolo, he's 0 to 60 in about 2 seconds, if that. Gets going quickly, does Sapolo. But you mentioned Neshaminy looking now for this stop after they come back down, score a touchdown, cut into this deficit, something they weren't able to do in their first round game last year. That game against Owen J. Roberts really got away from them in the first half. They were down 35-9 at the break. Play action, George with time, slings it complete to Wilson. And Jack Wilson with his first catch of the day, right at midfield, it moves the sticks. And a good looking sidearm sling that time by George.
Good read screen, good throw by Josh George there. He's got a good arm, does Josh George. Really is able to fire it in to the basket of his receivers tonight.
And give credit to the Central Bucks West offensive line right now. George had a bunch of time right there. They've been opening up holes for Sapolo and Mileto in the running game. This O-line is winning the trenches battle in this first half. Here's a direct snap. And Josh George on the second design QB run for him today. That one not as successful. Just a yard. And it sets up 2nd down and 9. This is what Central Bucks West will do. It's just chip away, chip away, chip away. And eventually they will look to try to hit you over the top. Neshaminy's defense has to be aware of that. It's kind of a tough balancing act because at the same time, you can't just keep letting them pick up 5 or 6 yards per carry.
You're eventually just going to get worn out. Neshaminy's defense can't be on the field as much as they have been here in this first half.
On 2nd and 9, George being chased. A sling, and it's incomplete. Tristan Rivera had the interception right in his chest, and perhaps a little too hot to handle that time.
Josh George with the pass ball complete.
You're right, Josh George, he's got an arm. Ball was coming with flames off the back of it.
Tristan Rivera with the coverage.
And he's lucky that one didn't go into the breadbasket of Rivera there and go the other way.
Nice read by Rivera to jump that route that time. He does force the incompletion, and now on 3rd and 9. These are the type of plays that could decide these playoff games. George has pressure, running out of time. He completes it to Laffin, and now they're going to say the hit jarred the ball loose. Mike Sassano once again. And so Neshaminy gets the 3rd down stop they needed. And here comes the punting unit for the first time.
So 4th down for the Bucks.
So when you're trailing by 2 scores, right, it's not just enough to go down, score a touchdown. It's going down, playing well on offense, combining that with stops, and Neshaminy can check that box right there.
And just good for your confidence, Jordan. At this point, you had a couple drives where the Bucks were just having everything they wanted, and it's good for Neshaminy's defense to get off the field here, force a punt.
Darrows, he's got a leg, and this is a high kick away from Nick Sassano. It kind of just bounces and dies right at the 19, almost like a spherical ball. That ball just bounced straight up in the air. And now Neshaminy with very familiar starting field position. The first 3 drives started from the 20. This one's going to start from the 19. There's great food, fine spirits, and good times always on the menu at the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne, opposite the SEPTA train station. The Irish Rover is your home for all Philly sports and happy hour every Monday through Friday from 4 to 7 p.m., 1033 South Bellevue Avenue in Langhorne, opposite the SEPTA train station. So 6:18 to go till the break. Neshaminy with the football back, trailing 14-7. And this drive starts with a handoff to Carter Klee. And not much doing for Carter Klee as he looked to use the short side of the field and couldn't turn upfield. Well, they give him 3 yards on that.
I don't know if the ball came loose.
Maybe 4, yeah. A fumble. You can't fumble forward.
It's hard to see from our vantage point, but Neshaminy will maintain possession here on 2nd down.
Well, it's 2nd down and 4, and Neshaminy will certainly take that. Eckert, quick throw. There's Brock Williams with space. Eludes one man, and now just tries to stiff arm his opposite number 4 in Mason Darrows. That's now the 3rd time we've seen Eckert kind of fake that run up the middle and then look to throw it quickly over the middle. And that time he completes it to Brock Williams.
Good formation from Neshaminy. Trips receivers to the near side of the field. You had Carter Klee coming like he was going to catch a screen pass, and Eckert goes right over the middle, hit his man Brock Williams for a nice gain.
So now 1st and 10 from their own 46. Eckert sets up the screen. There's Carter Klee. Klee with a blocker. He's got another 1st down.
number 5, Carter Clee.
Well, that's back to the Neshaminy we're used to seeing.
He was knocked out of bounds by number 31,
A 1st and 10 screenplay. And you wonder if maybe Nick Felis changing the play calling and changing the game plan around for this game is just a product of the fact that he knows Central Bucks West, has seen them, he understands Rob Rowan right, a very successful head coach, maybe doing a little adjusting. Say, hey, we're not gonna, just play right into your hands this time and do what you expect. Well, Eckert takes off on 1st and 10, and he's spun to the ground across the 40 at the 39. It's another 4-yard first down pickup. And so far for Neshaminy, especially here in the second quarter, the offense is churning. Of course, it brings up that debate of whether or not Neshaminy should have adjusted before this game, considering the fact they already won. See if CB West makes the adjustment. Here's 2nd and 6. Here's Carter Clee right up the gut of this CB West defense. And he keeps the legs churning as he runs into that big physical defensive line. Carries it to the 31-yard line. And now 3rd and short.
Well, something we didn't get to talk about in our pregame show, the chess matchup between Rob Rowan and Nick Felis. Both coaches, one of the most winning coaches wherever they've been in their careers. It's going to be who makes the better adjustments tonight.
3rd and 2. Eckert, another keeper, and another first down. Putting the moves on, breaking a tackle. Eckert, can he find the end zone again? He can! Touchdown, Neshaminy. 43 yards. And just like that, it's a 1-point game. Eckert juking out half the CB West defense on the way to pay dirt.
Well, Eckert did it in their matchup in September, breaking off a 71-yard touchdown run. He does it again for 43, and he strikes Neshaminy right back in this game. It's 2 touchdowns for Eckert tonight, 2 touchdowns from Nick Mileto, and we got ourselves a 14-13 game.
And now Steven Busick looks to tie this one up with a high arcing extra point that is good. And just like that, it's 14-14. I mean, plain and simple. What a run there by Eckert. Broke a couple of tackles, and he looks real shifty in this one so far.
Yeah, he looks like he's really got his legs moving in season form for Michael Eckert. It's really been the key for Neshaminy. He's ran when he has to, and he's keeping their drives and extending their plays alive through this first half.
Well, 2 touchdowns on the ground for him now. And he mentioned that 70-plus yard run that he had against CB West at the end of September. That one goes for 43. That is the one aspect of the game plan that Neshaminy does continue to go back to the well towards, and that's just letting Michael Eckert do his thing on the ground against these Bucks. Before this kickoff, I'll let you know that celebrating 50 years of business and supporting your community is Haldeman Ford, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. Neighbors helping neighbors is what Haldeman Ford does and will continue to do. Haldeman Ford here yesterday, here today, here tomorrow, celebrating their 50th year in business.
I mentioned in our pregame open right before kickoff, the key for Central Bucks tonight was to make Michael Eckert uncomfortable. They did it in his first couple drives. Eckert did not look like he has all season. And Neshaminy offensively has really made those adjustments and really adjusted well here in the later stages of this first half.
Here's Jack Wilson again fielding the kickoff and tackled at a similar spot. That time down at the 37.
And on the stop, number 11, Nick Sassano.
On Neshaminy this season, they have never come back from a 2-score deficit to win. They nearly did it against Central Bucks South, fell in that game 24-21. And so they've got this one back even, and all of a sudden, obviously the game tied now. Neshaminy was trailing 14-0, but Central Bucks West has got to be feeling that same pressure that Neshaminy was just about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, you're at home for Central Bucks West, a place you've made a statement for the last year and a half.
There's Louis Sapolo, and they continue to feed him on the ground, and not much that time to the 38, just one. Doing a lot of east-west running, but not a lot of north and south. And it brings up 2nd down and 9, and Neshaminy seems to have figured Sapolo out here in the second quarter.
Gain of 1 on the play.
From the Max Preps era, which goes back to 2004, these two teams have met just one previous time in postseason play. Neshaminy took a 38-34 win against Central Bucks West way back on November 13th, 2004, back when there were only 4 classes instead of 6. George all day, slings it, incomplete. Looking for Louis Sapolo along the sideline. Tough from our vantage point to see if he made that catch or if it hit the ground, but either way they say his feet weren't down. And now 3rd and 9, and Neshaminy looking to force their first 3 and out.
3rd down for the Bucks.
Small, Luke's got to hit it. Luke's got to hit it.
Neshaminy in their 3rd-ranked defense looking to make another stop. A lot of pre-snap movement, 3rd and 9. It's a handoff to Nick Mileto, like a bowling ball, tries to find those 9 yards and cannot. At the 44, and an interesting play call there to run it with Mileto, more of your short yardage back on 3rd and 9. And now we're gonna have Nick Felis calling his 2nd time out of the half. And Nick, you wonder, maybe that play call there was with the thought of going for it. Would be risky here late in the 2nd quarter in your own territory, though.
Yeah, it's a very risky decision for Central Bucks here with 2.5 to go, just about here in the first half. And the way Neshaminy has played offensively lately, if you're Central Bucks and you don't get this and you're giving Neshaminy about less than half a field, I'd be a little nervous. Instead of pinning them back, a good chance to pin them back. Neshaminy will only have 1 timeout in their back pocket if Central Bucks decides to punt this one away. But a tough call because Central Bucks does get the ball in the 3rd quarter, Jordan, too. So you don't necessarily have to have these points now. Rather maybe play it safe and just punt it away.
Well, CB West has taken a very long time in this huddle. And it's kind of tough to tell if the offense or if the special teams are coming on because they used a lot of the same personnel. But Mason Darrow's not on the field here, signaling CB West is going to go for it.
Risky call by Rob Rowan, but he's the veteran coach. He knows what he's doing. He's taken plenty of chances before in his career.
4th and 3. These are the decisions that could be remembered forever. Sapolo going for the hard count. And now we've got a whistle and we've got a timeout. So all that was Louis Sapolo and company trying to draw Neshaminy off sides. Figures they committed 4 penalties already to try to get them to jump right there. But a good job by the defensive line staying in that 3-point stance.
Yeah, we talked about Neshaminy's discipline. It's come back to bite them a couple times tonight, but a big scenario there, and they were able to stand their ground and not fall for the bait there from the Bucks.
God damn it. Listen, watch the feet.
Don't forget, if you miss any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian, or online at Trentonian.com, the only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian. Mason Darrow's on to send this one away. Nick Sassano back deep to receive. So Neshaminy set to get this football back with a little over 2 minutes to play. This is a very short kick from Darrows. He kind of shanked it, and it goes out of bounds right around the 40. And so the Neshaminy special teams unit, they will celebrate. They didn't really have to do much right there. And now very good starting field position for Michael Eckert and company, who have been red hot here in the 2nd quarter. For as good as the 1st quarter was for CB West, they held a 14-0 lead after the opening 12 minutes. Neshaminy's kind of flipped the script here in the 2nd.
Yeah, and they've used it with the ground and pound offense. Not Carter Clee, but quarterback Michael Eckert tonight has really been the lead running back and the lead rusher for Neshaminy through this first half. Mixed in a couple pass plays here and there to get some good yardage.
Well, now they're looking for a 2nd quarter exclamation point and looking to take a lead into the locker room. Handoff, Klee. Can he turn the corner around Mileto? He did a little bit and got positive yardage to the 49. He got shoved out of bounds. And remember, Klee has already been down once in this game. And I think he might have slid into somebody over there on that CB West sideline. Klee is up and he looks okay. I think one of the coaches took the brunt of that for the Bucks.
I hope he is okay down there, so he'll get checked out by the training staff.
Got a pat on the back, looked like he's all right.
Second down.
So from midfield now, 2nd and 5. We've got a whistle and a flag, and this is going to be a pre-snap penalty. It's against Neshaminy. It's going to be their 5th.
Flag on the
Skids
field.
are backing up. No, offsides. But against the Skins. An offsides call against the offense. Yes, that is possible. It's not typically something you see every day. But somebody lined up in the neutral zone, perhaps. Now they back him up to the 39, which is interesting because the last play was about to come from the 50. Either way, 2nd down and 11. The Bucks have yet to commit a penalty in this one. 2nd and 11. Pressure coming. Eckert gets away, and he just runs out of bounds. Chased out by Gavin Todd. And now 3rd down and 11, and good coverage that time by that CB West secondary.
Yeah, man-to-man defense for the Bucks back there. Every receiver pretty much covered. They try not allow a big play behind them.
Yeah, of course, Neshaminy, very similarly to CB West, they look to kind of march the ball down the field, picking up chunk plays. They don't necessarily try to hit you over the top, but they can. That's why you see a lot of man coverage played against them. 3rd and 11. It's a screen. It's Sassano. He takes off. He was kind of backpedaling, and because of that backpedal, has enough for the 1st. And there you go, right? 3rd and 11. Neshaminy staying true to who they are. They use the wide receiver screen, and Sassano does the rest.
Been very efficient play for Neshaminy tonight. Whether it's Carter Klee, Sassano there.
1st and 10. Looking for Sassano and has him once again. Mike Sassano, back-to-back big weeks right now, really continuing his excellent play from the 2nd half of the Pennsbury game and carrying that over into this 1st round matchup with Central Bucks West. Sassano lined up in the slot at the bottom. Eckert has pressure, gets away. Eckert rolls, running out of time, and just throws it low for Nick Sassano that time. Well, Eckert's scrambling ability has certainly been on full display in this one. And that time he had a man bearing down on him and had to put him in the spin cycle to finesse his way out of that.
Yeah, I really don't know how Eckert got out of that. Would have been a big sack there for the Bucks. Eckert just able to maneuver his way out of that somehow and at least get rid of that ball.
1:28 to play till halftime, 2nd and 10 Neshaminy from the 32 of CB West. Eckert keeps, he finds Lucas Stewart. Stewart has his 2nd catch of the day. Shane McGuire forces him out inside the 30 at the 29. That's a pickup of 3 for the senior tight end, Lucas Stewart. Still wearing that brace on his right knee. The CB West game at the end of September was his 1st game since week 1 when he suffered that injury. Handoff, Klee straight ahead with a hole and a 1st down. And Neshaminy can kind of stare across the field at the CB West sideline and say that is how you execute a 3rd and long run.
They've done that all season consistently with Carter Klee on these 3rd and long.
Neshaminy now set up in the red zone. Central Bucks West will stop the clock with 1:11 to play. in this second quarter. We'll step aside. 14-14 your score. The Skins looking to go in front for the first time when we come back on WBCB.
Parents, are you looking for an athletic performance coach for your child with over 25 years of experience? Coaches, are you looking for a strength and conditioning coach that has coached youth to professional teams to record success? Your only choice is the Kalinowski Performance Academy. The Kalinowski Performance Academy is the area leader in personal, group, team academy prep, and return to play training. The Kalinowski Performance Academy believes that everyone should have an opportunity to be their best. Go to trainlikecal.com to be Cal's next success story. That's trainlikecal.com, spelled K-A-L.
Back here in the first round of the PIAA District 1 Class 6A playoffs, Neshaminy and CB West even at 14. 1:13 to play here in this second quarter that has been dominated by Neshaminy. They've scored on their last 2 drives. Michael Eckert with a pair of touchdown runs. 1st and 10, Eckert keeps it himself again, and he's ridden down by Gavin Todd, who got him around the ankles. It's a gain of 3, and now 2nd and 7 from the 10.
Second down.
Neshaminy going quickly, clock under a minute. Eckert, eyes on the end zone. Mike Sassano brings it in.
Touchdown.
And Mike Sassano continuing his stellar play late in October, puts Neshaminy in front with 51 seconds to go till halftime.
Great clock management there by Neshaminy to get the ball back off the shank punt, drive it right down the field. And with 51 seconds to go, it's 20 unanswered points from this Neshaminy offense. He's really getting in a rhythm now on this Bucks defense.
What a turnaround. It was all CB West in the first quarter. They were on top 14-0. Neshaminy's defense was kind of getting bullied. The offense couldn't find a rhythm. And sometimes you talk about half-to-half adjustments. How about quarter-to-quarter? Steven Busick wafts it through. 21-14 Neshaminy. And there were probably a lot of Skins fans out there after that first quarter thinking, oh no, here we go again, remembering back to that game against Owen J. Roberts in the first round last year, which they let a first quarter and first half deficit really snowball on them. They trailed by 26 at halftime. And perhaps seeing ghosts from that game after the opening 12 minutes, but Neshaminy proving right now that this team is in a much different spot than they were a year ago.
And it really helps when you're having your quarterback, your senior quarterback, throw for over 2,000 yards this year. And he's already rushed for 7 touchdowns coming in tonight, now 9 with 2, as he just threw his 27 touchdown pass on the season. 8th to Mike Sassano. Give the Skins the lead here, late stages of the second quarter.
Those 8 touchdown receptions lead the team, by the way, for Sassano, and that's his 3rd now in the last full game of play. Going back to the second half last week. Here's Jack Wilson from the 30 with room and bumped out of bounds by his opposite number 11 in Nick Sassano. 2 timeouts for Rob Rowan in his back pocket, 47 seconds. And remember, Central Bucks West will receive the opening kickoff in the second half. And from this spot on the field, Nick, my mind is at the point where I'm thinking CB West is going to play this one pretty aggressively.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised the more pass-happy offense comes out here on this drive for them, even with a timeout, 2 timeouts to their name. I mean, they can run it for a couple plays with those timeouts.
They'll begin this drive from their own 44. And of course it helps that Mason Darrows has quite the leg on him, and CB West does have the option to kick field goals if they so choose. Check that, 1 timeout left for CB West, and George stands in the pocket and delivers it just out of his reach of the intended target, Lucas Benscotter. He had him. He was open on that deep slant route. Got in between the corner and Mike Sassano and the safety and Dan McGarity. And that's one that Josh George would probably like back.
And you got to wonder how Central Bucks is going to play this drive. They're just trying to get into field goal range, just try to take points, knowing you're coming out of the locker room with the football. In a playoff game, anytime you can get points, it's crucial.
We've seen Josh George a little inaccurate through this first half. Now Louis Sapolo, the Wildcat quarterback, he takes off. No surprises right there, and has a very tough time turning the corner and then gets flipped by Mike Sassano, who continues to make his imprint on this first half. That's been really the biggest difference from the first quarter to the second quarter for Neshaminy on defense. It's the fact that they've kept Sapolo in front of them, haven't let him turn the corner when he looks to bounce it outside there. And as a result, this 3rd and 7 play, it does not have to happen. We've got just 10 seconds and rolling, and it looks like CB West is going to be content to just take this down to 0-0s. A tale of 2 quarters in the first half here in the first round of the District 1 6A playoffs. It was all CB West. They were up 14-0. They almost looked like they were on cruise control. And then Neshaminy made them hit the brakes and then some, exploded for 21 second quarter points. They hold a 7-point advantage, 24 down, 24 to go. Do not go anywhere. We'll come back with the Neshaminy band performance as well as our halftime show after these messages on WBCB.
Kent's Tree Service, right here in Lower Bucks County, 23 years of expert tree service, emergencies 24/7 service, is your trusted professional for any tree service needs that you have. Kent's Tree Service, many years of experience successfully providing tree services here in Lower Bucks County and even parts of Montgomery County. Their whole team provides the utmost care when working on your property and are experts you can trust for any tree removal, tree trimming, lot clearing, and so much more. Bonded and insured, you can be assured of professional results from their highly experienced service professionals. Kent's Tree Service, quality tree service, right here in Lower Bucks County. Call them today at 215-547-9744. That's 215-547-9744. Kent's Quality Tree Service. 23 years of expert tree service.
A proud supporter of Neshaminy Skins High School football on WBCB Sports is the N Club. Don't forget to visit the snack stand at the game tonight for some yummy treats and show your Neshaminy pride. Check out the Pride Wear tonight for all of your merchandise. And a special thank you to our sponsors: Chick-fil-A Neshaminy, Automotive Training Center, Bailey's Bar and Grill, Code 3 Records Artist Services, Fireside Inn, First National Bank of Newtown, Frank Ferry, JJKL Construction LLC, Patient First, Sandy's Beef and Ale, and Travel Services by Tiffany.
The Peruzzi Automotive Group. No matter where you purchased your car, take it to a local Peruzzi dealership service department for the best deals on tires. Buy 3, get the 4th free. All makes and models. Name brand tires. The Peruzzi Automotive dealerships on Route 1 in Fairless Hills, where our business is you.
Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
Everything we are, everything we become, starts with a simple truth. We matter. From the core of our being to the ways we move through this world, we exist in different states. Solid, liquid, gas, each one a reflection of who we are and who we choose. Solid. We begin grounded, solid, a state that holds shape, that holds strength, a foundation built to endure. Solid in structure, solid in truth, and like the state of matter, we rise. strength also flows. Liquid, ever-changing, always moving. It curves and bends, adapting, reshaping, healing. Like water, we shift with emotion. Smooth, expressive, real. Joy, sadness, love, doubt. They pour from us and shape who we are. And in these waves, we learn to accept, to understand, to feel. Liquid is not weakness. It is the power of vulnerability, the beauty of change. I am emotion. I am liquid. Now, we rise. Gas, a state without boundaries. It expands, it reaches, it fills every space it enters. We become that state. Limitless, uncontained. We take up space, not because we have to, but because we belong. And in that freedom, in that fearless movement, we realize something powerful, something undeniable. I matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2024 Neshaminy High School Marching Band.
Bucks County, this is home. It's where I was raised, where I learned right from wrong, where I'm raising my family, and where I've spent my life fighting for justice. I've taken on the toughest fights against murderers, traffickers, and child predators who believed they could prey upon the innocent and walk free. I've proven them wrong. I've stood toe-to-toe with the worst among us, delivered justice, and made our communities safer. Because in Bucks County, law and order are not up for debate. And as your district attorney, I will never stop fighting to protect our families and uphold justice. Justice isn't just my job, it's a solemn promise. A promise that every family can sleep safely at night, that no victim will ever be forgotten, and that in Bucks County, crime has consequences. Under my watch, the law is not a suggestion, it's an unbreakable pact. Justice will be swift, it'll be certain, and it'll be served. I'm Jennifer Shorn, and I will never stop fighting for Bucks County. Our families, our safety, our home.
The Peruzzi Automotive Group. No matter where you purchased your car, take it to a local Peruzzi dealership service department for the best deals on tires. Buy 3, get the 4th free. All makes and models. Name brand tires. The Peruzzi Automotive dealerships on Route 1 in Fairless Hills, where our business is you.
Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more.
Here at halftime from War Memorial Field in the first round of the PIAA District 1 6A playoffs, Neshaminy leading CB West 21-14. The 11 seed has come on the road. They dominated that second quarter, and that is why they are holding the 7-point lead. Michael Eckert, a pair of touchdown runs. Mike Sassano with a touchdown reception. As for CB West, their 2 scores coming by the way of the ground with physical back Nick Miletto. Nick, that was really a tale of 2 quarters, wasn't it? It was 14-0 Central Bucks West. They controlled the opening 12 minutes, and then the second set of 12 minutes belonged entirely to the team in red, white, and blue.
Yeah, but credit to Central Bucks coming out and owning the first quarter, really putting their foot on Neshaminy's throat early stages of this game, defending their home field. But Neshaminy, credit to them and their coaching staff. They made the adjustments offensively. They saw the first 2 drives were not working. They couldn't get anything going consistently, and they adjusted, and they've scored the last 21 straight points here against Central Bucks West.
Well, we got a good game here at halftime. Of course, these final 24 minutes should be electric. Of course, the first 24 minutes were. What would you like to see out of both sides here in the second half, Nick?
Yeah, for Central Bucks West, starting with them, they're the ones trailing. They got to come out on this opening drive, and they got to just do what they did. That was very successful in that first quarter. They had what they wanted, a very balanced offensive attack. I really said in the pregame to attack Neshaminy secondary. Well, I think they just got to go back to what they were doing and attack Neshaminy's front D line, because they had success going right up the middle at Neshaminy. They had everything they wanted. But for Neshaminy in the second half for themselves, maybe try to run the ball, own the clock, dominate, control the game, give your defense some breathers every once in a while, and really control this game if you want to try to run away with it and get out here with a W and advance to the second round.
Yeah, Neshaminy's defensive line was the biggest turnaround from quarter number 1 to quarter number 2, doing a fantastic job on Louis Sapolo, who was doing anything he wanted on the ground as the Wildcat quarterback. We've seen him and Josh George really split time about 50-50 as to who's lining up as the QB. A lot of times that's Rob Rowan tipping his hand to whether it's going to be a run play or a pass play. But Central Bucks West, they won the opening coin toss. They elected to defer. They will be up first here, as now it is the Bucks looking to make a comeback as we begin this second half. The winner of this game will advance to the quarterfinals. We'll take on the winner of the 3-14 matchup, which is reigning champion Downingtown West against Owen J. Roberts. Neshaminy looking for their first round win since 2017. Central Bucks West looking to avoid their first round loss since that same year. Off we go with a kickoff that eludes many of the up men, has to go back to get it Jimmy Cooker, and he gets bottled up. And we talked about how important special teams have been to this game, Nick. Central Bucks West dominating that category so far, and it's the first time this Neshaminy special teams unit gets their defense set up with a favorable field position.
Yeah, I think it's the furthest position that Central Bucks has been pinned back tonight, so they have a long way to go. As Neshaminy, a good decision to kind of squib it, keep it on the ground, get a nice bounce, and pin the Bucks back here on their opening drive in the second half.
1st and 10 CB West. This drive begins from their own 12. George motions out. Sapolo is the Wildcat quarterback. He'll take off. Sapolo has a block, gets through the hole, and picks up the first down. He needed 10, and he got 10. That's enough to move the change. Louis Sapolo looking more like the Sapolo from the first quarter on that first run. You wonder, trailing here, Nick, how long it takes until Rob Rowan sends a play call in with CB West looking to hit Neshaminy over the top.
Yeah, I talked about how CB West can really attack Neshaminy's secondary tonight. They haven't really taken a deep shot and been successful tonight. With all this running, they're bound to do it eventually.
1st and 10, Sapolo hands it off this time, and Nick Mileto barges ahead across the 25 to the 27, and a pickup of 4 for the big physical junior, Nick Mileto. Very junior-heavy squad for Central Bucks West. They've put together this run of success here over the last handful of years. 47-15 record since the start of the 2021 season, and they're going to be returning a lot of this core next year as well.
Yeah, a lot of juniors, too, on this team, and a couple of sophomores that have contributed, so they're going to be good for the next couple seasons.
Sapolo looking to turn the corner, makes a move, gets around one man, and as a result has enough for the first down. He juked out Tristan Rivera, and then a flag comes in at the end of the play. It's on the far side of the field. Well, Central Bucks West has yet to commit a penalty. We'll see if this is their first or if Neshaminy continues to give the Bucks free yardage.
I believe it's going to be a horse collar on that far side of the field near the Neshaminy bench.
Personal foul.
Personal foul, horse collar.
And it is a horse collar tackle against Neshaminy that tacks 15 yards onto the end of that run. And so Central Bucks West will have it on their own 49. Just killer penalties so far for the Skins.
Yeah, you wonder where this game would be actually without the penalties that Neshaminy has committed tonight, where the score would be.
1st and 10 Bucks. And on the Wildcat quarterback run, it's a 4-yard gain. That was Nick Mileto that time.
He was tackled.
And that's the second time he's taken a direct snap. The other one was the first touchdown of this game. The Rob Rowan squad has used 3 different QBs in this one, and all of them have been relatively effective. This is one of those drives out of the halftime break that you're scripting. They've scripted a lot of Wildcat quarterback plays. Nick Mileto back-to-back runs, dancing around, and he gets stacked up shy of the marker, 2 yards shy of it at the 38, or the 43 rather. We've seen pretty much anybody who's gotten the football at some point in this game make those cut moves and juke out some defenders. Neshamany's defense still looking to force their first turnover of this one. Neshaminy 7-0 when they force 2 or more turnovers this season. 0-3 when they force 1 or fewer. On 3rd and 2, straight ahead with Nick Mileto. Did he get there? He's still going. There was no whistle. And I guess he wasn't down. He got chopped towards the ground. And according to the officials on the field, they say he stayed upright. And it's enough for a first down. Where he originally got hit, it would have been very close, but Mileto decides that he's just going to make it easy on everybody.
Neshamany's defensive line just didn't know what to do. A lot of them were just standing around as Mileto continued to churn forward, get the extra yards, and get a nice first down for this Bucs offense.
Well, they were waiting for a whistle that just never came. Good job by Mileto to stay on his feet. 1st and 10, fake the give. George rolls, and that pass was deflected at the line of scrimmage. It was intended for Sapolo.
Pass intended for Louis Sapolo.
And the Neshaminy pass rush, which hasn't been too effective, they were able to disrupt George right there.
Yeah, they've been rather quiet through that first half and tonight. And credit to Central Bucs getting the ball out quickly, running these designed runs and sweeps, jet sweeps and quick passes has really been successful to neutralize for Neshaminy's D-line to get home to the quarterback.
2nd and 10, Central Bucs West from the 36 of Neshaminy. This is a handoff to Mileto, and Nick Mileto starting to really get those legs moving here in quarter number 3. We saw mostly Sapolo in the first half, and maybe that's going to be that Rob Rowan adjustment that we're going to see out of the break. Nick Mileto getting the lion's share of the touches.
First down.
Ever since Louis Sapolo moved over to become the primary running back for this team, we've seen Mileto a lot more in short yardage situations. He can still go off. He's not a guy that's only a bruiser. You saw him pick up 10 right there. He gets the football back, bounces off of one man. Just so tough to bring him down. Dan McGarity, Luke Howell was in there, and some extracurriculars after the play. And it looks like the flags are going to stay in the officials' pockets. There was certainly some pushing and shoving there after things were all said and done at the 24.
Neshaminy lucky to avoid another penalty. That would have been really costly in this part of the field.
It was a 2-yard carry for Mileto. 2nd and 8. Sapolo, he's going to run. And a good tackle that time. That's Milo Makes, who had 3 TFLs last week. That one not a TFL, but certainly just saved a big gain because there was daylight for Sapolo right there. And much like how we're going to get a lot more nighttime after tomorrow, Milo Makes was able to set the sun, so to speak.
This defensive line for Neshaminy had a really impressive game in their earlier meeting this season. 8 TFLs, 3 sacks, and a pair of interceptions. Been rather quiet so far from the Neshaminy defense tonight in that department.
3rd and 7, handoff, and running into a wall is Nick Mileto. Dan McGarity forces him back.
By number 7, Dan McGarity.
Carson Schneider was in there as well, and the top 2 tacklers on this Neshaminy defense combined for a big-time 3rd down stop. No man's land for CB West. They've got a kicker in Mason Darrows who could hit it from here. To be a 40-yard attempt. Darrows is coming in, but again, he's also a wide receiver. And it looks like the Bucs are going to go for it on a drive that's eaten up more than half the third quarter clock. If Neshaminy can get a stop here and get the football back, that would be gigantic. CB West looking to continue this drive. George rolls, pressure in his face, he is dropped. Owen Schwartz getting him to the ground. And Schwartz continues to eat this season on the defensive line. Sack number 7 for big number 52. And Neshaminy takes over on downs. Shot out of a cannon was Owen Schwartz.
Well, we were wondering when Neshaminy's D-line was going to get their first sack of the night. Big play to stop the Bucks eating up this third quarter. And the Bucks come away empty now on their last 2 possessions before the end of the half, and now here to start the third quarter.
So Neshaminy with the football and with the lead. This is where they can be dangerous. Handoff to Carter Klee, just a yard that time. But with a run-heavy offense, especially recently, especially in this game, right? We've seen Michael Eckert and Carter Klee used a lot so far. Now 2nd down and 9. Neshaminy, very favorable spot, and a spot they want to be in this game. 2nd and 9, quick throw. There's Brock Williams putting the moves on. The ball came out at the end. We've got a flag that comes in late. Central Bucks West recovers it with Sapolo. Let's sort all this out, though. It's been one of the issues for Neshaminy recently is fumbles. They'd fumbled 4 times in their previous 2 games and lost all of them. There was a flag that came in. Williams was a little out of control that time, never brought the football in towards his chest. And they say Central Bucks West football. And just when it looked like everything was going right for the Skins, an inopportune time for a turnover. And Central Bucks West has the life right back in them.
About midfield for the Bucks now, a chance to you only have half the field to work with, a chance to come away with some big points and kind of chew out the rest of this third quarter, set us up for a fourth quarter.
And it's almost like a do-over drive now. Here's Nick Mileto, and not much doing that time as Schwartz tripped him up. We get that big-time sack from Schwartz. Everybody's fired up. You stop a drive that was over 6 minutes long, and then on the second play of your ensuing drive, a turnover.
2nd down.
And that's the first real non-turnover on downs of the night. And really, whoever's going to win that turnover battle tonight, it's going to be critical with who's moving on. Neshaminy makes a big first mistake tonight.
Sapolo takes off. There's not a lot of room over there, and he's able to skitter forward to the 44, maybe the 43. Sapolo certainly has great vision whenever he's running as well, because there was a lot going on in that part of the field, and he was still able to pick up positive yardage, gains 5, and sets up 3rd and 3. Really, ever since the first quarter, Neshaminy has dominated on 3rd down. They've done a good job keeping CB West into 3rd and medium, 3rd and long. This is 3rd and short. George rolls, and the pass was off the hands of Liam Laffin, who's had a couple of drops in this one. And now 4th and 3, and it's a pretty obvious play call right here, Nick.
Yeah, CB West. Going to definitely, they're going to bring out the punt team. A little surprising where they're at, though.
That is surprising. I thought it was going to be obvious.
And it's a 4th and pretty manageable, but I guess they feel more comfortable unless they go for another hard count in a punt formation.
It just feels like you had all the momentum, and now you're giving it back with a punt on the opposite side of the 50. Guess you got to watch a fake, right? Darrows He'll send it away. This is a much better punt than his last one. It takes a CB West roll, and so a good job by Darrows. He pins Neshaminy inside the 15-yard line. A little surprised with that decision, but you know what isn't surprising? The fact that there's great food, fine spirits, and good times that are always on the menu at the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne. Opposite the SEPTA train station, it's at 1033 South Bellevue Avenue in Langhorne. Celebrating 50 years of business and supporting your community is Haldeman Ford, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. Neighbors helping neighbors is what Haldeman Ford does and will continue to do. Haldeman Ford has it all, new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, plus a work-ready trucks as well. Haldeman Ford, here yesterday, here today, here tomorrow, celebrating their 50th year in business. And don't forget, if you miss any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian, or online at Trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian. Well, Neshaminy's got to be breathing a sigh of relief right now that they were able to get away with that fumble with no harm. Worse field position, obviously, but still on top 21-14. Eckert, another designed run. And not much there, maybe a yard to the 16. If that. No gain, it'll be second down and 10.
Second down.
Well, Jordan, in this second half for Neshaminy, we've seen so much this season. Neshaminy get off to these great starts and great leads. Then the offense fizzles out late in the games, especially on the road in the playoff game. Not something they could do tonight.
Eckert with another keeper, and this time he's got loads of space. Down the sideline, Michael Eckert off to the races. He's got a first down there. I believe there is a flag, and I think this one's going to come back again. This is going to be the second big Michael Eckert run that's going to be called back because of a holding. That's why I was a little hesitant there. I thought I saw that flag fly. Mason Darrows also right now getting a word from one of the coaches. He was bent over, looks to be okay. And there's the holding call. Well, Nick, if Neshaminy's going to want to hang on and win this game, they're going to have to overcome a lot of these bad penalties. And of course, we don't have the luxury of replay here, but you wonder if that hold was necessary, if it did spring Eckert or not. Those are the ones, of course, coaches are more okay with. If the hold springs the runner, it's those ones where it's away from the play and it doesn't matter that really get under your skin. Eckert all day. Now he's running out of it. He'll take off out to the 23, and so Eckert with a gain of 3 that time. And more good coverage by the Central Bucks West secondary. And guys like Shane McGuire, Louis Sapolo, Jimmy Cooker have done an excellent job not letting Neshaminy get behind the defense.
Yeah, Neshaminy's been really good tonight on the quick passes, the screens, the slants, and just letting their blockers get in front of the play catcher.
That's about all that's been available.
Yeah, the deep ball is not there yet for Michael Eckert.
3rd and 3. Eckert, he's got the option to pitch, and he will. Here's Mike Sassano. He picks up the first. Well, Sassano had 1 carry all regular season, and now he's got 2 tonight. And that one's enough to move the chains, and this drive continues.
Digging a little deeper into the playbook here. In the first round of the playoffs, you see some of that, which the offense has really kept deep in the playbook through the regular season, not giving teams too much film on them.
That's where having a head coach like Nick Felis, who knows how to win, really comes in handy this time of year. Quick swing, there's Carter Klee. Back to good old Neshaminy screen and swing football on the first play of a series. And that one goes for 7 yards for Klee. The far side official has him marked out of bounds at the 37. That's where they place it. So a 7-yard pickup for Klee, who's been active in both the running game and the passing game in this one, much like he was last week. Second down, it's another option play, and it's another pitch. Here's Klee. Here's another Neshaminy first, and Klee keeps those legs moving after contact. A gain of 10 to the 47. And if you're Neshaminy, right, holding the 7-point lead late in the third quarter, that's all you're looking for right there. Keep the clock moving on the ground and get Carter Klee really going.
Yeah, they've kept him pretty much in check tonight, has Central Bucks. He's broken a couple big runs, but nothing too much as we've seen from Carter Klee this season.
1st and 10. Eckert with the run this time and twirled to the turf at the 49. Gain of 2. Looked like Zach Zabo was the one to get him down. So a good play by that CB West defensive line, but Neshaminy has kind of turned the tides in the trenches battle as well. On 2nd and 8, play action, over the middle, slant route. Sassano couldn't hang on. That was a tight window throw that Eckert was able to squeeze the football into. But an even better defensive play by the sophomore Finn Riley there with the coverage.
Good play call, though, from the Skins there. Eckert read the defense well, saw he had some crashers in front of him from the D-line for Central Bucks. Decided to pull it back out from Carter Klee. Try to hit Sassano there.
All too often will 3rd downs decide these postseason games. Here's 3rd and 8 for Neshaminy. Eckert back, they've won the screen, they've got the screen, it's Klee. It was well defended, but it does not matter. Carter Klee would not be denied, he's got the first.
Battle of angry runners tonight between tailback Nick Mileto and Carter Klee has been a fun one to watch if you've watched this game from the start. Both guys like to keep their legs moving and don't care how many tackles it takes to bring them down.
That could be one of the plays you look back on at the end of this one. Neshaminy would have been forced to punt, but Carter Klee was able to somehow pick up the first. He gets rewarded with the rock again, and he gets tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. There was a clip that went viral on Neshaminy Instagram of Carter Klee lowering his shoulder, delivering a big hit against Pennsbury last week on a run. Didn't quite have to do it that time, but just seems like whenever he's got a defender in his way, he's unafraid. He knows that he's got the ability to get by anybody in his path.
And he gets stronger as the game goes on.
Play action. Eckert looking downfield, gonna sling it, and it's complete. Or no, it was knocked down. It was intended for Lucas Stewart. And it was knocked away at the last second. Shane McGuire with the coverage. And now 3rd and 10, clock frozen at 16 seconds.
3rd down.
This could be 4-down territory. We'll see if Neshaminy's play call reflects that. Eckert will look to throw. Going deep again. Nick Sassano climbs the ladder, brings it in, and takes it all the way for the touchdown. The ladder had enough rungs on it, and Nick Sassano brought it down. 27-14, Neshaminy on top.
A 39-yard touchdown strike from Michael Eckert to Sassano. And it's Nick Sassano's 7th touchdown of the year. As Neshaminy doubles up their lead now, 27-14. There's only a few ticks left here in the 3rd quarter.
He's watching what his brother's been doing over these last 2 weeks and said, you know what, I want in on the touchdown party. Kick is up and good. And from down 14 to up 14. 28-14, 9 seconds to play in quarter number 3. Well, there's great food, fine spirits, good times that are always on the menu at the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne, opposite the SEPTA train station. The Irish Rover is your home for all Philly sports and happy hour every Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. The Irish Rover Station House at 1033 South Bellevue Avenue in Langhorne. When Eckert let that football fly, I thought it was going to be too high. Nick Sassano, not the tallest wide receiver in the game, but an excellent job to leap up there and bring it down. And then to contort his body enough to keep on going, not just go down and power his way in for the touchdown. That's one of those ones where it's good to have a receiver with good hands, right?
Yes, it is. And Sassano's been that man all year. Came into tonight's game with 18 receptions on the year. And 2 touchdowns now tonight for Neshaminy. That one on 3rd down. Eckert took one in on 4th down. And that's 14 points. Really the difference for the Neshaminy offense tonight.
Another rolling kick that's fielded by Jack Wilson. Gets to the outside and takes it out near midfield. Well, if you're going to try those squib kicks, maybe you want to kick it away from Jack Wilson now. So 2 seconds all that's left in this 3rd quarter. One more play for Central Bucks West. The CB West squad, who came out the gates red hot, scored touchdowns on their opening 2 drives, and ever since then, the Bucks have looked like deer in headlights. This drive begins right at midfield with a handoff to Sapolo. Puts the spin moves on and does enough to get back to the 50. A lot of movement there by Sapolo for no gain. 2nd down and 10. Time runs out in quarter number 3. 36 down, just 12 to go. Neshaminy on top 28-14. Winner to the District 1 6A quarterfinals. We'll have the 4th quarter next on WBCB.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
Welcome back to War Memorial Field. Neshaminy has turned a 14-point deficit into a 14-point lead. 12 minutes to decide who advances to the quarterfinals and who goes home here on a Halloween night in Doylestown. 2nd and 10, Central Bucks West, right at midfield. They've been run really the whole game. Josh George won't sling it here. He hands it off to Nick Mileto, who's got space. Mileto eluding a couple tackles and finally brought down at the 41 by Mike Sassano, who's just been all over the place. It's a gain of 9 for Mileto on 2nd down, as one of the wide receivers, Jack Wilson, has to be helped to his feet. Well, Mileto's done a very good job in this 2nd half, Nick, picking up yards in chunks. We talk about how he's a physical back, but he's not just a bowling ball out there. He can find those openings in the defensive line and exploit them. 3rd and a yard, Sapolo straight ahead with the first, breaks the tackle, and that helps him gain an extra yard. So Louis Sapolo needed 1. He picked up 3, and that moves the chains on what's kind of turned into a gotta-have-it drive for Central Bucks West.
Yeah, they need points here to start this 4th quarter. You're already down 2 scores, and Neshaminy's offense has been rolling with 28 unanswered points. And Central Bucks has got to get something here to stop the bleeding.
Especially with the way both of these offenses operate, where long drives can take up a lot of the clock. It's another handoff. It's Nick Mileto. He dives ahead out to the 32. So he picks up half of what he needs, and it sets up 2nd and 5. It's just been the Nick Mileto show here in the second half. Why not? He's done a nice job going north to south. That was, I think, the one thing that maybe Rob Rowan wasn't liking out of the way Louis Sapolo was running in the first half. A lot of east to west, and Neshaminy really started to snuff that out. And now going into the teeth of that defensive line is paying some dividends for West. Second and 5, George straight ahead, bounces to the outside and nothing. Mike Sassano again and Dan McGarity. And we promise there aren't just two players out there on the Neshaminy defense, but the way McGarity and Sassano have been flying around, it may seem like it at times.
Sassano's made some really great tackles tonight. He's gone low to chop down at Neshaminy's rushing attack when he's had to. He's been on the sideline going east to west himself. He's always been in the right spot at the right time. And that's critical for Central Bucks. You can't let them break tackles. You have to tackle them at the point of contact and don't let them bowl over you because they can break one.
Mileto will take the direct snap. Looking for a seam, has it. First down, Central Bucks West.
First down run.
And the difference for Central Bucks West here out of halftime has been making it third and more manageable, allowing them to be able to run with Mileto, with Sapolo, and even with George at times. We've seen Josh George through the air look a little inaccurate in this game. Eventually, though, if Central Bucks West wants to make this comeback, George is going to have to make some big throws. We're down to just over 9 minutes to play in this one. They still trail by 14, not yet in the red zone.
Yeah, they're going to have to sling it around here to get the clock more manageable in their favor. Instead, it's been on the Neshaminy side with this running clock.
George with the handoff this time to Mileto, breaking a couple tackles. You see him lower that shoulder. That is classic Nick Mileto. He's got the first down with a pickup of 11. And if you're going to continue to run the ball and keep the clock moving, those are the runs you need if you're Central Bucks West. And Mileto's the guy to do it. Bounce off of multiple tackles. It really takes a village to get him to the turf sometimes.
And some of these cases kind of remind you a little bit of little Cam Scadaboo, who just got injured.
On 1st and 10, it's a handoff. It's Sapolo to the outside. And he's across the 10 towards the 8. Well, Sapolo's the off-tackle guy, and Mileto is the guy you could run right into the teeth of that defense. It's a good gain on first down. It's a 4-yard pickup. They'll give him 3 to the 8, so 2nd down and 7. But again, the clock really becoming a factor right now. It's ticking down to 7:48 and counting, and for a team down by 2 scores, when do you go to the air? For Central Bucks West, it's become the point of the game where you need 6 right here. George straight ahead, and he cannot dance out of the way of pretty much that entire Neshaminy defensive line. Milo Makes, Mark Ilkovic were in there. Nick Sassano was the one who came up and finished it off. The clock's still rolling. 3rd and medium. Ashton Stass comes into the game, the sophomore wide receiver. We'll see if Central Bucks West goes to the air. It'll be for the first time on this drive. 3rd and 6. It's another handoff. It's Mileto, and he's dragged down from behind by Carson Schneider. He doesn't have the first. He stopped at the 4, and so it'll be 4th and 3. And you got to go for it now. Give credit to this Neshaminy defensive line. They may be one stop away here from, you don't want to necessarily say icing it, but with Neshaminy's run game, maybe one stop and a few minutes away from doing that. You need to stop first. And now a whistle and a timeout called.
Timeout on the field, Bucks.
Well, I don't want to necessarily say I'd be shocked if Central Bucks West goes to the run game here, just with the way this game in this second half has gone. But 4th and 3, eventually I think you got to put it in the hands of your quarterback. Eventually, at some point in this game, whether it's this drive or the next drive, if they're able to cut into this deficit, Josh George is going to have to make a big-time throw if Central Bucks West wants to come back and at least force overtime.
Yeah, they feel like they're playing very conservative. Even though you're down 2 scores, you really don't have the clock on your side. Now you use your first timeout. And George hasn't really thrown it consistently tonight. They've really relied on the run game, even though considering the score. So they got to get a pass. I mean, it's 4th and 3, Jordan. You think it's pretty manageable. They could really do both, depending on the design play of what they decide to go out here out of the timeout.
But don't forget, if you miss any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. Your complete local and national news 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian, or online at Trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian. There is a world in which this play is your game. And they only had 10 in the huddle, and Zach Szabo has to come in late. Play clock running down to 10. 6:14 to go. CB West trailing by 14 in this first round playoff game. Sapolo's going to roll. He's going to take off. He is very close. I think he's got the first down, but not the touchdown. He needed the 1 yard line to get the first, and that's where they're going to mark him. I think, in fact, he's inside the 1. And so if you're Central Bucks West, you'll take it. Of course, it means the clock is going to tick down a little bit more, but still with the football, and now prime opportunity to cut this deficit in half.
Yeah, they're just going to go right up the middle here. Matter of who gets it.
This looks like it's going to be a QB sneak with George under center. He sneaks it ahead. He's pushing. And he's in for the touchdown. Bucks are still alive. 28-20 with 5:53 to go, and a drive that takes up over half of the fourth quarter. And it was all on the ground for the Bucks. It results in a trip to the end zone, which is ultimately what they needed. And now Mason Darrows with a chance to cut it to a 7-point game. First touchdown for Central Bucks West since the first quarter, since their first 2 drives. Line drive kick, and it's up and good. 28-21. And so 5:53 to go now, Nick. What's the thought process for Nick Felix? Is it go down, be aggressive, try to score a touchdown and put this game on ice, or is it ride Michael Eckert and Carter Klee, thinking maybe 5:53 left, perhaps just run out the clock?
It's a tough choice if you're head coach Nick Felix for Neshaminy. I feel like in the previous games this season, they've tried to be more conservative, and it hasn't really worked out every single time. So, I mean, you've been aggressive all night. I just say you continue what's working. Little mix of your offense of the run and pass. Eckert on his scrambles, Klee maybe as well. If you get just a couple throws to keep the drives alive and moving, maybe get to midfield or so, you really can control the clock from there and look to ice this game.
I agree. I think if you're Neshaminy right now, it's just go back to what's gotten you here. Good old-fashioned Neshaminy football with Klee and Eckert. Perhaps a drive starting a wide receiver screen. The Skins, ever since the first quarter, have had really an excellent game plan.
I will say, going into tonight's contest, Michael Eckert, how important was that second touchdown that he just threw to Sassano in Neshaminy's last drive? Neshaminy is 7-1 when Eckert throws 2 touchdown passes. Their only loss was early in the year to Cheltenham. So that's really been the recipe for success for this Neshaminy offense. When he throws 2 touchdowns, they usually win the football game.
Darrows will send it away. This one's more of a squib variety. It's going to be fielded at the 25 by Nick Sassano. And he's wrapped up and just curls to the ground at the 33. A little interesting that time. Darrows doesn't decide to boot it deep. We've already seen him force 3 touchbacks. And so out comes this Neshaminy offense. 5:50 left. Let's see what the Skins have in store. Of course, you want to run the clock, but you're not quite at the point in the game yet where you're just turning around and giving it to Klee every single time.
Yeah, the last thing Neshaminy needs is a 3 and out here.
1st and 10, it's a quick throw. There's Brock Williams catching CB West off guard. 1st down and more. Williams in space. He goes down across the 25. Well, so much for going back to good old-fashioned Neshaminy football, right? It was a quick throw, but it was over the middle. And Brock Williams that time hangs onto the football. It's a big play. It doesn't get called back, and Neshaminy is in business.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if you're a Neshaminy fan, you're looking for the flags on the field. You're waiting for us to say something. No flags that time. Clean play. Neshaminy gets across midfield down to the 30-yard line.
And now you can be a little more conservative, you would think. Eckert will run. He breaks through the defensive line, and Eckert goes for 8 that time. Man, 2 big plays to start this drive. I mean, literally just a minute ago we were talking just, is this the point in the game where you play really conservatively? And Neshaminy's like, you know what? We're on the road. We've got this lead. We want to continue to take it to you.
Brock Williams too, has a very quiet night too, Jordan, overall, consider what we've seen from Brock Williams this year. And when the Neshaminy needed most, they went to him and he delivered the big 1st down.
2nd and 2. It's a handoff with Klee, and he's got nowhere to go. Brought down by the duo of Liam Laffin and Nick Mileto. And so now 3rd and short. And a tough ask for the CB West defense, but the plays you got to make are right here if you're trying to make a 4th quarter comeback against this Neshaminy team.
Yeah, Central Bucks still with 2 timeouts in their back pocket, so they still have some chances to stop this clock, and this drive is manageable for them as well. They can stop Neshaminy here on 3rd down.
And if Neshaminy picks up the 1st, then the question becomes, when do you start using those timeouts? 3rd and 2, Eckert straight ahead. Follows the blocker and has the 1st. Running right behind Logan LeBady. And has enough to move the chains. Logan LeBady, he was on the high school coaches roundtable this week. Nick Fielis bringing on his offensive linemen. And he also talked about, same as David Liberty, right? He said, quote, whatever team is going to be more physical is going to come out on top Friday night. CB West was the more physical team in the 1st quarter, but since then, I don't think you can really argue the fact that it's been Neshaminy. Clock inside of 3:40. And it's an easy handoff to Klee. Looking to break free, and he's got good yardage there on 1st down. And these Neshaminy runners, whether it's Klee, whether it's Michael Eckert, or even Mike Sassano at times, just continue to slither their way through that initial line of defense.
It took them a couple drives for Neshaminy to really get their run game going and establish it tonight. But in that 2nd quarter, they woke up. Their O-line, credit to Neshaminy's O-line, we really haven't talked about them, Jordan, tonight. It really starts with them up front. Very experienced and veteran group it is. They lead the way.
Second down, Eckert being patient. And it looks like he's got enough to move the chains. He needed the 7, and that's where they mark him down. And yep, 1st and goal now, Neshaminy. The clock stops for a moment as a result of the 1st down. If Central Bucks West doesn't call timeout, Neshaminy could run this all the way down to about 2:20 before they would have to snap it. And of course, Steven Busick not really used in the field goal game, but if it comes to that, he's within range right here.
Yeah, it'd be a very easy couple points. But to say nothing's really easy in this league in the playoffs.
It's Klee looking to get around the edge and can't. Swarmed upon by half the Central Bucks West defense and maybe even a little more than that. And now Rob Rowan is going to burn his second timeout. I'll let you know there's great food, fine spirits, and good times that are always on the menu at the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne, opposite the SEPTA train station. The Irish Rover is your home for all Philly sports and happy hour every Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. They're located at 1033 South Bellevue Avenue in Langhorne. Neshaminy up 28-21, 2:15 to play. Winner of this game advances to the quarterfinals to meet either Downingtown West or Owen J. Roberts.
It's going to be a really tough task whether Neshaminy walks away and escapes with a win or Downingtown West pulls off an improbable comeback in the next 2 minutes. Well, we'll just say hypothetical. Downingtown West usually has been the more consistent and better program in that matchup. So say one of these teams has to go there next week. That is not an easy task.
They'd be looking to upend the reigning District 1 6A champs. Of course, if Owen J. Roberts pulls the upset and Neshaminy hangs on here, it would be a rematch of the first round from last year.
That would be a storyline within itself. A couple good storylines, no matter the outcome of this game, and no matter the outcome of the other game.
Both of these teams are focused on the next 2 minutes, 15 seconds, though. Eckert, quarterback keep, looking for the end zone, and he gets stacked up. The whistle didn't blow, and he gets pushed forward for an extra yard. Down to the 4, and so 3rd and goal from the 4, and Rob Rowan will burn his final timeout. Stops the clock at 2:06. And we've got a score update in that Owen J. Roberts Downingtown West game. Down goes the defending champs in an upset. Owen J. Roberts stops Downingtown at the goal line, hangs on to win 10-7. Wow. So whoever wins this game will have a second round home game next week against Owen J. Roberts, the 14 seed in this tournament. The Neshaminy, of course, haven't played at home since October 3rd. If they hang on to win, it would be their first home game in over a month. Yeah, if Central Bucks West can, of course, complete this comeback, they would have an opportunity to play in front of their home fans as they look to make it 4 straight trips to the semifinals.
Yeah, thrilling. If it comes to that, that'd be a thrilling 2 minutes here if Central Bucks comes back and ties this game. I mean, that just shows how critical. I think this next play or two, Neshaminy is going to go for it on 3rd or 4th down here if they get to that. If they can punch this in, that'll really almost solidify and seal the deal.
It's a tournament that's been talked about as being so wide open. All you got to do is get in and you've got a chance. Neshaminy looking to pull an upset here on the road. Eckert dashes ahead and gets stripped up. So 4th down and goal from the 4. It would be a 23-yard try here. You can run the clock all the way down to about 1:20 and call timeout. So you'll see the offense stay on the field for right now. And now it's decision time. I mean, a 23-yard field goal try is just a few yards longer than an extra point. And it would essentially put this game away. Neshaminy with the opportunity to go up by 10. Of course, we haven't seen Steven Busick really at all this season in the kickoff or in the field goal game. So the Skins will stop the clock at 1:19. We'll step aside and provide some more suspense before this 4th down decision right after this on WBCB.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar.
1:19 to go, 4th and goal from the 4. Neshaminy up 28-21. And it looks like the offense. Nope, offense.
Yeah,
they're going to stay on the field.
Yep.
So Neshaminy, who have not kicked a field goal all year, they're going to go for it. This would be a 23-yard try. A touchdown could be the dagger. Eckert fakes the toss, now gives it. Plea He is short. Central Bucks West gets the stop. Liam Laffin, Shane McGuire were both in there. Carter Klee could not find the pylon. And so now Central Bucks West is going to have to go 99 yards with no timeouts in 1:15.
Credit to Central Bucks West there. They read that play from the jump and met Carter Klee on that near sideline and were able to make the tackle and bring him down just short of the goal line. Huge stop.
Well, actually, they'd have to go 98 yards. This drive will begin from the 2. And now it's on the Neshaminy defense to not let them go that 98 yards. But I'm very surprised they did not try to kick the field goal.
Yeah, you got to take the points in the playoff game, no matter what the score is.
Empty set, George, back to pass. Going deep, has a man wide open. Mason Darrows can't bring it down. Off his fingertips, and he might have had all 98 yards right there. Exhale if you're a Neshaminy fan. And if you're a CB West fan, you probably got your hands on your head. Just a breakdown in coverage that time. He was all alone.
You heard the gasp from the crowd. They were ready to jump up and jump for joy here at War Memorial Stadium. And they just watched a golden opportunity slip through their fingers to tie this game.
Cover 0 look for Neshaminy. Second down, George just has to get out of the end zone to avoid the safety. Gets brought down by Carson Schneider. Clock's rolling inside of a minute. It's third down, CB West into the hurry up. You can't really spike it on third down here. They'll run the play. George scans, loading it up, going deep. And it's too far. It's over everybody. Tristan Rivera had the best shot at that. And Neshaminy is one stop away from being able to play in front of their home crowd at least one more time.
And you know, it's exciting if they get to stop here. Nobody knows on the field just yet, unless the coaches heard from their sources. But we wondered when Central Bucks would air it out. They had 2 good chances there on back-to-back plays to hit Neshaminy deep, especially on the hurry-up.
If CB West doesn't come back in this one, Mason Darrows might not get any sleep tonight.
It was a tough throw from George just over his fingertips, too.
4th and 6, gotta have it, quick throw. There's Darrows, does he have enough? I think he has just enough. Needed the 12 and he got the 12. The clock will stop for a moment. CB West into the hurry up. Still 88 yards out with 38 seconds to play. But still alive in this one. Looking to keep their season going. George gonna fling it deep once again, and again it's out of the reach of everybody, and the clock will stop with 27 seconds left. It keeps targeting Tristan Rivera, who probably isn't the guy you want to go after. And for as good as Mike Sassano's been, he was the one who had the blown coverage on what could have been the 98-yard touchdown to Darrows a moment ago. Milo Makes will come out for this play. Lucas Stewart will come in on the defensive line. 2nd and 10. George facing pressure. They set up the screen with Sapolo. Looking to make something happen, and he just scurries out of bounds. And the clock freezes at 21 seconds. Eventually, one of these deep balls has to connect, you would think. The way Neshaminy has kept Sapolo and Mileto and company in front of them ever since the first quarter. Central Bucks West, they have not lost a first-round home game or first-round playoff game since 2017. That was the last time Neshaminy won a first-round playoff game. Third down. George going deep in the middle again, and Darrows brings it down. He can't avoid the tackle, and a potential season-saving tackle by Nick Sassano. Darrows is still down. CB West is out of timeout, so you might be looking at a runoff if he didn't get up, but he did. Clock stopped right now at 13 seconds. And CB West catches a break. The clock you'd think should be going, and now they'll just spike it. Man, was that hectic. Woo. What a catch by Darrows, who I guess makes up a little bit for the drop earlier on in this drive, and now he goes down. I mean, you could tell he was hurting right there, but he couldn't stay down. It would have forced a 10-second runoff. And at that point, CB West really would have only had one more play. So the clock stopped at 11 seconds as they tend to Darrows. That's one of the better catches we've seen this season by a Neshaminy opponent, or even just anybody out on the field this year, and coming up big in that spot where you gotta have it.
Yeah, great throw by Josh George there to hit his receiver Darrows in stride. Sassano, credit to him, he really made a game-saving tackle. If Darrows finds his way to get out of that play and just break free, he's got nothing in front of him except green grass in the end zone.
Yeah, easily the biggest tackle of Nick Sassano's life right there. You know, Darrows was trying everything he could to fight through that tackle. He comes off for this play. 2nd down and 10 from the 47.
Neshaminy comes out, prevent defense here, everybody back.
George, quick throw towards the sideline. It's just dropped by Mileto, and the clock stops at 7 seconds. And now you've either got a Hail Mary or you've got one play to the sideline and then a Hail Mary.
I'm gonna go with your second answer, partner. I'm gonna say they're gonna do a quick pass here. They try to get on that play, and then they're trying to just chuck it off, maybe with 2, 3, or 4 seconds if they can. And that'll make it an exciting finish. So we come down the wire here from War Memorial Field.
Central Bucks West certainly knows a thing or two about Hail Marys over the last few years. This is 3rd down. George, this will have to be it. He's just gonna fling it. It's gonna be well short. It's knocked to the ground, and 000 are on the clock. The 11 seed Neshaminy Skins come into War Memorial Field and pick up their first District 1 6A postseason win since 2017.
Faculty, administration, and amazing support staff here at CBS. Thank you for your support.
They were down 14 after the first quarter. Nothing really was going right. And as a result of that Owen J. Roberts loss, the Skins will be at home next week in the quarterfinals against the 14 seed in this tournament.
What a win for Neshaminy, the 11 seed on the road as they complete the series 2-0 to Central Bucks, beat them once at Heartbreak Ridge and once here in your first round playoff match. Credit to Nick Felix and his coaching staff, the adjustments they made. 28 straight points, the difference tonight as Michael Eckert led this offense. They adjusted, attacked the Bucks defense, and said defense did what they were supposed to do. Locked down Lake Jordan, the final stage of this game. Bucks gave us a great ride and a great season. Credit to them all season, a very successful season to their standards. Not what they're used to, though, but still a very good season to them overall, and they're a very young team, and they'll be back right in this spot next year in 2026.
Neshaminy upends them twice this year. It's been a heck of a season for the Skins, and it will keep on going as a result of this 28-21 first round win. I'd like to thank our sponsors who made portions of today's broadcast possible. Kalinowski Performance Academy, the N Club, the St. Mary Medical Center, Jennifer Shorn for DA, the Revere Restaurant, Team Toyota, Kent's Tree Service, Peruzzi Automotive Group, the Irish Rover Station House, Haldeman Ford, and the Trentonian. Our player of the game will go with Michael Eckert, a touchdown pass and 2 runs on the day for him. He leads the charge in this first round win. You can find that interview shortly following the conclusion of this broadcast on our Instagram page, as well as on YouTube Shorts. Neshaminy survives and advances. They'll be at home next Friday night against number 14 Owen J. Roberts in a rematch of last season's first round. One more time now for the entire crew here from War Memorial Field. For my color commentator and cameraman Nick Gallagher, For Brianne O'Neill, who produced today's stream, my name's Jordan Hirsch, saying thank you for watching and have a great night, everybody.
Bucks County, this is home. It's where I was raised, where I learned right from wrong, where I'm raising my family, and where I've spent my life fighting for justice. I've taken on the toughest fights against murderers, traffickers, and child predators who believed they could prey upon the innocent and walk free. I've proven them wrong. I've stood toe-to-toe with the worst among us, delivered justice, and made our communities safer. Because in Bucks County, law and order are not up for debate. And as your district attorney, I will never stop fighting to protect our families and uphold justice. Justice isn't just my job, it's a solemn promise. A promise that every family can sleep safely at night, that no victim will ever be forgotten, and that in Bucks County, crime has consequences. Under my watch, the law is not a suggestion, it's an unbreakable pact. Justice will be swift, it'll be certain, and it'll be served. I'm Jennifer Shorn, and I will never stop fighting for Bucks County. Our families, our safety, our home.
Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.